research activities as well as academic activities. Having a long decade of services in particular engineering domain, again we are calling it a specific program. Python, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, data science came into existence because of few reasons. But according to the context, I will confine my discussion to differences between MATLAB and Python. What are the important features of Python? And especially, I want to identify the importance of Python for mechanical engineering domain, and what are the libraries supported in a broader sense, as well as in a particular discipline, mechanical discipline, and how to use the services of Python in order to solve ordinary differential equations as well as partial differential equations. And because of this particular session, to be frank, I have searched and I tried to associate how Python is really important to the mechanical domain. And I have observed few URLs. This is the one URL is briefly giving you what is the importance of this particular Python for mechanical domain. And two more sources also observed and identified what are the great domains, especially what are the subjects in which the Python services can be applied. I will display later. So far, even including me, we have used the services of MATLAB to execute my academic work as well as research work. Even my entire PhD work is executed on MATLAB platforms, started from MATLAB 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I was stopped with 10 and 11, where I have submitted my thesis. Still, the new packages, new services added to the MATLAB, that's a great tool where we are able to do our activities. But only the reason with that is the MATLAB is a proprietary called a commercial software which we need to purchase based on what are the packages we need to be implemented, what are the packages which we have to be make use of conducting our experiments, proprietary one. And based on the number of packages you want to be use them, it is an expensive bit. Primarily start with the basic requirement of 25 to 30,000, and as long as packages are adding to a requirement, each package comprises nearly 10,000. So it goes on like according to a requirement. And one more problem with MATLAB is that portability. Nowadays, we are not confined to a particular physical location and not confined to a constant device to conduct experiment all the time. We should have the capability, we should have the facility of moving from one place to other place and one device to other device. And in a programming literature, it is called interoperability. That facility is it is not flexible in that particular MATLAB language. So because of these three reasons, looking for the alternative as software development is progressively done, as well as in terms of hardware enhancement is also available to the appreciation level, so that we are fortunate to have many technologies and many services which you are getting within no time, and just we need to use the technology or the device with the minimum information, and just we need to identify what purpose and what is our objective to use this particular thing. That's all. Every facility is available with the requested and the platforms which are available right now. These are the basic I can't say the barriers, I can say as a bit difficulties for which why people are looking for other programming languages. But the basic side of the primary advantage of MATLAB, I can say, is that it has a solid amount of functions. So what are the functions you want to use, irrespective of the domain I'm saying, irrespective of the engineering domain or other domains I'm saying, it has the solid amount of functions. where we can use the packages according our objective. The best package available with the MATLAB is it is Simulink. It's a product which simply it is not available elsewhere. The Simulink it is going to be create the real world environment by having the capability of simulation and giving the options to customize your requirement, and also easier to use beginners as it is providing to the simple interface. Whereas if you go for other programming language, you need to choose for the a specific IDE, integrated development environment, that allows you to develop your software development or allows you to develop your project. But with the simple interface, the MATLAB allows you to have the flexible the flexible interface and can use the basic platforms and basic proprietary features available with this particular platform, MATLAB platform. It has a large scientific community. So as you are the beginner, you're how are in the process of identifying the problem domain, or a process of executing the problem identified. So you have the large community in the MATLAB. They're called the discussion forums. So whenever you have a particular problem, you can post in the discussion forum. So there will be a huge number of people, professionals, academicians, industry people will help you to solve your query. That is the scalability and the size of the MATLAB platform on which the people are working. Okay, then why? So though you have those facilities, why you are moving to the Python? I can say that the basic difficulties with the MATLAB is a proprietary one, and it is not much flexible, right? So because of those reasons, I want to switch to the Python programming language, and where those barriers are broken out, and these these three problems are arised. These three problems are proprietary, expensive, portability. Are three difficulties are arised, and with some specific characteristics of the Python says that everybody knows that it is open source. Open source doesn't mean that it is free for usage. It is free to access the source code, and you have the enough capabilities to change the source code and to enhance the capabilities of the particular programming language. It allows you to do the same. It is powerful. Why it is called powerful is it is to have a modularized approach through which you are able to simplify, you are able to decrease the time execution, the coding time. Because of built-in functions, numerous built-in functions, it allows you to simplify the coding. That's why it is powerful. It's namespace. Namespace is the one of the differentiation from the MATLAB. So far, till R12 version 12, MATLAB 12 AB, we don't have the namespace facility. The namespace facility allows you to use the programming code in a function wise. When you have the function wide implementation, you have the facility of reusability. Because of reusability, the implementation time will be reduced, and the size of the coding, lines of code in programming literature, it is called KLOC. Thousands of lines of code can be reduced. That facility available with the namespace. When the namespace facility available with in Python, the people looked for why can't we have the namespace in the specific programming language, and succeed also able to provide namespace in MATLAB also. Introspection is most important when you are working on the complex applications or the complex project development. In those perception, they have to identify the bug easily. They have to identify the location. They have to identify the syntax of that particular bug, and for what purpose you have written, that is semantic. It should be done. It is easy to do with the Python because of that modularized functionalized arrangement. String manipulation. String manipulation is most important when you are working on the textual information. When you're talking about the current greatest domains of sentiment and analysis, a social media post, when you want to manipulate, when you want to process the inputs available on social media as part of sentimental analysis are related to the e-commerce websites, this thing manipulation is most important. And in this process, we are able to identify the keywords, most important keywords, which are able to differentiate them with the non-important one. And we are able to get the frequent words. Because of frequency of the word, we are able to identify the objective of the post. Though you are in the domain of the mechanical, sometimes you need to deal with the processing of the textual data, not always the integers data, numerical data, or floating data. Sometimes you need to do with the textual information. So that will be allows you to use this particular facility. And everybody knows that the portability, as it is free, you can run anywhere, and you are able to implement at one place, and you can use that particular implementation throughout any platform, in terms of either operating system, Linux to a Mac, Mac to Windows, Windows to some other operating system. And that also allows you to move from one configuration device to other configuration device. Having three, the real fact is, for every 6 months, the configuration is going to be almost doubled. The configuration is almost doubled for every 6 months. And if this is the situation, we can't buy the device for every 6 months, but you have the chance of portability. With that, we are able to make it compatible. Either the concept you developed, either the project you developed, or the application you developed, it should have moving from one device to other device, from one platform to other platform. That's a portability. It should be required everywhere. Indexing is the important feature of the Python. It is going to be identify the concepts, objects, and features available in the form. It is just like the indexing page in the textbook are also called the abstract concepts are available, are also called the key value pair. The key value pair. What is the zero and what is the value? What is the key for one? This type of facility is available. Indexing is to identify the object or the concept easily. The class and function. The importance of the class and function is the important feature of object-oriented programming language. In the real world, everything is an object. Everything is object, maybe living object or non-living object. Some are blueprints, some are real world. Blueprints means this is just by definition. Actually, if you take the student is a blueprint. It is a class. Physically, student doesn't exist. When student name is given, some Ashok name is given, it is really existing. So the student is called blueprint, is called class. Some Ashok is an object. Ashok have some attributes. Ashok have some methods. Maybe performance, maybe the CGA, PGA, extra activities, and other capabilities. They are the methods which will be operated on attributes. Attributes of like what courses undergone, what are the technologies undergone, and what are the concepts which I have understood, and how these concepts are going to be applied in his career, and how this career is built for the final the placement cell. So the class and objects are object-oriented feature. It is like abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance. These are all the important features of object-oriented programming, because it is well connected to our real life, because in real world everything is treated as an object. Because of GUI toolkits, it allows you to visualize the data, especially when you're dealing with the mechanical people. I'm telling, you're working on images of some machines, images of some motors, images of some other parts of, when you're working on robotics, when you're working on fluid engineering, when you're working on some machines. So it needs to be visualized, especially in the 3D visualization gives you the comprehension. That comprehension allows you to progress in a succeeding path. That's the important feature that's required in every domain, and that fortunately available with the Python. Especially we have some TensorFlow, the Keras, and these are the platforms which allows you to visualize the thing very clearly, precisely, and especially it is used in deep learning approach. Why the name given to that particular programming language Python? A small, simple, a funny reason. What is that? While the person, Python is invented by Guido van Rossum, is the Dutch programmer. While implementing this particular language, he thought that what the name should be given. Already, he is in the path of watching a comedy series. It is started in 70s. The comedy series title is Monty Python's Flying Circus. He's interested on that, and he is able to associate this particular programming implementation features with this funny series, and decided to give the Python to that particular language invented by. That's a simple reason, as he's like interested on that particular aspect. He's the person who invented this particular programming. Previously, he's worked for Google and Dropbox at the way of implementing the earlier technical concepts, earlier technological platforms. Nowadays, everywhere the Python is the either internal path, the inbuilt path, or the foreseen or the background path, where you can see everywhere. The Python is the language implemented and utilized by the great domains what you are looking on my screen. There are many domains, many requirements where we can use the Python. It is start with maybe here applications are maximum related to the computer science or IT domain, but you have the options to use this Python as well as part of your implementing the CAD experiments, as part of implementing the 3D printing, as part of designing your engines for a particular device, are the applications which you can identify from mechanical side. Almost here what you're observing, these particular platforms like web document, testing platform, scrapping is required everyone. Scrapping is traveling, navigation from one page to other page. The data analysis is it is not confined to the computer science only. Actually, I can say the data science is working on the field called statistics. So statistics is not related to CSE. It is required everywhere. Wherever you have the huge amount of the data, maybe as a mechanical engineering, you are working for a complex plant, a complex device to be built and to be given to the customer, and they are giving the support to the customers throughout usage. The huge amount of the data will be produced. If you take the thermal engineering, thermodynamics, where you will be having the many number of inputs, many huge amount of the data will be generated. How you are able to manage the data, where you are storing it, how you are storing it, how you are accessing it, how you are extracting the data, and how you are make use of the data. By make use of data, what you want to produce, and how you want to represent the data what you produced. Visualization, it gives you the complete comprehension.
Srinivas Rao. Yeah,
Sir,
Amit Garg, I think you can switch off your video. Amit Garg, please switch off your video. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So data analysis is the domain. It is required for every the branch of the engineering where you have the huge amount of the data. That allows you, the Python allows you to use the data from the beginning of storage. It supports structured organization, unstructured organization. Structured organization will improve your coding skills, will reduce the execution time. So you have to prepare your data. That is normally all these things comes under pre-processing. In general literature, I can say warm up. How we are able to warm up before going to be play the real game. The computer graphics. The computer graphics is the platform where the Python services are exhaustively utilized in the form of GUI tools. Because the computer graphics, the main components involved in that is multimedia. Different types of data is presented, includes the text one, the GIF one, animation one, image one. When you clubbed all these, the video is presented with the background textual data and audio data. And confined to a particular thing, I can say the machine learning, the scikit-learn is the one of the important feature that's provided and implemented in Python. Autonomous learning is called machine learning. Autonomous learning. No external programming. No external inputs are to be required. That's called autonomous learning is called. Every human being, every living thing on the earth is having the capability of learning autonomously. So why can't we provide the same facility to the system that helps me in my profession to improve my results, to improve the quality of my outcome, to improve the preciseness of the outcome to be generated? That's called machine learning, autonomous learning. It starts from infant to every stage of the human being, the every living organ. Fortunately, we are having billions of processors in our brain, millions of connections available. That's why our brain is so expensive than any supercomputer, than any supercomputer. So the same thing, the same effort we want to give to our system, to device, call it anything. That's called, that should have autonomous learning. Is called machine learning. Learning from experience. That's all. Every day we are having, every moment we are having learning from experience. That gives you the progress. Then big data. The when you have the big data, the subset is data analysis. The big data is the normally, if you want to store, if you want to manipulate the data, you need to have the mainframe computers which are having the GPUs instead of CPUs. They're having the blocks or modules instead of instruction. Instruction is one command, but block and modules having the thousands of commands, thousands of instructions. And especially nowadays, you are looking to have the more comfort in your life in every domain. That's called Internet of Things. Things means technologies. Technologies, concepts, devices, platforms. In that Internet of Things, your the mechanical engineering is also one of the component. That's the basic component. That's the device where many things are going to be insert and embed, and we are looking for the functionality of your device. When your function works precisely, then only the outcome which we can see. Where electronic instrumentation is required, power electrical domain is required, electronics is required, mechanical is required. When all these things are available, then only we are able to give the feeding to the that particular device in the form of a programs. So the Internet of technologies, Internet of domains, it's called Internet of the Things. It is required, especially when you're looking for the health monitoring system, health support system, especially in this pandemic situation. There is a basic, many reasons are there to say why should I go for. Just I want to give you the brief idea about this. I will start from N to 1. The simple and easy to learn. Why it is called simple? And if you take any other the Java language, it needs the it needs the 5 instructions required to display the same one, hello world. In Python, you have only one. Extensible in the sense that you can move from one device to other device. You know the versions changes. Whenever the features changes, versions are changes. Especially when you're talking about your CAD versions. Related to what domain I'm talking, the CAD versions, what is the inception version and what is the version right now? What are the features? What are the services simplified? What are the visualization facilities enhanced? They are because of the portability and extensibility. Nothing more than that. The development, the web development in the sense that though you have complete information, until you are not able to present it, the presentation in a beautiful manner, the other person called customer or client in your side, they can't comprehend precisely. So the web development is required, and the accessibility of the data is required, and it is allows you to progress and allows you to present the data in a beautiful manner. Everywhere it is required. Artificial intelligence is the word. It is related to everyone. Where you want to work smartly, where you are expecting your outcome as intelligence is required by every engineering student. It is required by every stakeholder of engineering domain. It is not only engineering domain, it is required by everybody, where your outcome is intelligence. Intelligence is so expensive. Lot of burdens are required to get the intelligence. I can say that data is raw. When it is confined, you will get information. Information tells you 2 multiply 3, 6 is information. How 2 into 3 is 6? It is knowledge. Is knowledge. Based on that, I can say X into Y. I can say A into B. I can say M into N. That is intelligence. Data, information, knowledge, and intelligence. Now, previously, a computer programming is asking a data is input used by our program to do something called factorial of a number, Fibonacci series of a number, volume of a cube, a square area. So these are the outcomes I'm expecting. So what is the data? It's a raw one. Information, what you are getting is information. Now I'm not asking for data and information. When you want to be smart, when you want to be autonomous learning capability, when you want to improve your outcome, I'm asking knowledge as the input and expecting intelligence as the outcome. If that is the particular requirement, just think about how smart you should be. There are many artificial intelligence devices in your hand right now. It starts from Siri. It receives your query, searching in the device, in your all folders, and responding precisely. What is that? It is an intelligence, artificial intelligence. A robot is the best machine. How they are built? Artificial is a great complex domain under which all domains are subsidized, including the data science, including machine learning, including deep learning, statistics, data mining, analysis, visualization. All these are all ingredients, and final dish is called artificial intelligence. So how should be the dish? That's up to you. What taste you want to give to your dish, and that proportional efforts are required. The scikit-learn, the Keras, TensorFlow, OpenCV. This OpenCV is required where you want to use and where your data is in the form of image. It is required by everyone. This allows you to read the images of engines, to read the parts of the robot, to read the parts of any device, and it gives the complete visualization, and that visualization allows you to understand what is the internal implementation involved in that. The computer graphics, everywhere it is in the form of audios, images, all are mixed, and some numerics are giving. The numerics are required to what is the score of your performance. That's the graphics. I don't want to spend much time on this because we have to discuss important things related to our domain. The testing frameworks. You have prepared your product, you have prepared your concept. There should be a platform to test how far it is working. That allows you to the modifications to be required, to be done. That testing framework is supported. The big data, the Hadoop is the important feature to reduce the dimensionality. There are some applications where dimensions are nearly having 50 attributes. Attributes is, for example, if you take weather, what is the date today, what is the day, what is the temperature, humidity, pressure, all these will be nearly 50 attributes will be there to predict the temperature for tomorrow. If you are taking the same data for 5 years or 10 years, just imagine what size of the data you are getting. How to manipulate? You can't manipulate the data directly. You need to go for reducing the dimension. The map reducing. Map reduces the feature. It is available to deal with that. The scripting automation. The scripting automation allows you to prepare your own code based on the built-in facilities available. The data science. So in your context also, all these libraries are used in mechanical domain. The NumPy starts with the basic arrays, the pandas with the greater size of the data, and for visualization of the outcome you generated, or graphs between 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions, you need to have this matplotlib. These are the libraries available in Python that is required in every engineering domain. And the final thing is, as it is as fortunately the huge amount of the data is available and the computational facilities are available, that is why nowadays all these buzzwords are came into existence. But birth or inception of these words are 1950 only. At those days we don't have the sufficient data, we don't have the platforms to develop our concepts, there is no support from the industry specifically on those days. But fortunately we are having all those facilities right now. That's why these words are very frequently, and they are called measuring technologies in Veena Vijayati, and they are treated as the buzzwords of any discipline right now. Other things are open source, highly readable. It is just like your English language. Any common person, the person with the minimum knowledge is able to understood what is the objective of this particular code. That is the important feature, readable. Memory management is drastically reduced in Python because it is working on built-in functions of that. So that's why because of readability, because of reusability of those functions, we are able to reduce the size of the data. And visualization layout, it as it is the real world, everything object and objects can be simulated and everybody can understood the concepts and features of the objects. That's also one of the important feature. As we are able to reduce the size of the data, size of the coding required for any concept, we have the great amount of the performance. Just it is talking about version 2020, it is released with that. Currently 3.7, even 3.71.1 is also available. The Python having two standalone as well as a browser based. Even if you don't want to install any Python related software because of your device storing capability or anything, you have the option called Colab. Colab is from Google. That's called browser, but requirement is connected. The device should be connected. If you don't want to connect your device to the net all the time, you can install Anacondas, from which you can use, you can get the Jupyter notebook. In Jupyter notebook, you can implement your concepts. If you don't want to install, we go for Colab, Google Colab, where the connectivity is required and the storage will be available at the Google Drive, the cloud storage area. So in Python, I hope everybody at least having knowledge on at least one programming language, or at least these keywords. While we are studying, while part of our academic development or professional development, you are familiar with any one programming language, or at least the basic keywords of a programming language. It starts with the integers, floats, booleans, and strings. Because the data what we are using in our academic purpose or professional purpose having different features, different in nature. That's why we'll have different data. The type of the data you're using called data type. Based on the type of the data, the memory is going to be provided by the system, and the response is available and manipulation depends. That is called data type, the type of the data. So the simple features of numbers are, in numbers we are able to deal with the integers, floats, and you would expect other languages also declare. But with the simple instruction, you could able to do this functionality. Shall actually say this print is a function. It's a function. Function means set of related instructions to do a particular task. That's called function. And all what you are giving in the parentheses is called argument, or also called variable. When you want to say yes or no, so there are two possibilities of outcome, yes or no. It's called Boolean, that is supported with. But if you want to say yes or no, you will be having some connectivities. This is called large Boolean connectivities, logical and, logical or, logical not. So when these are used, when you are writing rules, even these rules are required in mechanical programming language also. When you are writing rules, if x1 and y1, then z1. If x1 or y1, z2. Then when you are, these are called rule-based systems. And you want to say yes or no, and these are connectivities, based on this, you can do that. It also helps you to deal with the strings, string comparison, string length, string concatenation, substring, slicing. All these are the features. It is required when you are working on the textual data. The textual data It starts from one word. It starts maybe in your document you have only one word or 5 words or 10 words to the huge amount of the data. The best example is the Google search engine. Based on the keywords entered by you in the search bar, it based on the ranking, based on the keywords present in the document, your documents are presented to you on the screen in rank wise order. That's the best example for string manipulation. The string slicing also, how you want to display the string, uh, right justification, center justification, and replacement of that. There are many options available. All these options are required to deal with the textual data, especially the sentiment analysis. Especially these are the concepts used by all social medias and also used by all e-portals, Amazon, Flipkart, whatnot. They are using based on the number of accessories, the number of URLs browsed by you, and how much you spend, what are the items you have purchased, and what is your command, what is your comment, what is the rating, and all these are done in terms of textual manipulation only. And also supports one of the important feature of Python is a container. Being mechanical, what do you mean by container? It holds, it contains. Because of this particular facility, we are able to modularize the complex coding system. Because of modularity, we can reduce the dependency in the programming. Because of dependency, massive parallelism is available. Massive parallelism, parallel processing. Because of that facility, the Python execution is faster. Because of that, it is say HPC, high performance computing. Though we are dealing with the CPUs with i3, i5, i7 processors, and our data is huge in size, and we have multimedia data. Multimedia data occupies more memory. It also consumes more memory cycles. It also consumes more execution cycles because we are having multimedia data. But still, this particular programming language is going to be reduce the execution time, and the response is quicker compared to other things. The slicing is the process of using subselection. So whole document is there. That entire document is not required. I am looking for important keywords. How those keywords are identified? Because of slicing, and this slicing requires indexing. What do you mean indexing? Indexing is pointing. Until pointer is not there, we are not able to extract the important concepts. We have to gone through from first letter to the end letter. It's a time consuming process. And the purpose of loop, if we want to do the same task repeatedly until true, we have to go for loop. What is a loop? A loop, in general sense, I am telling, repeating the same thing for specified number of times. Specified number of times. 5 times, 10 times, 50 times, 100 times. That is number specified for loop. If it is while true, while this pandemic situation is there, we have to take all precautions. That is called loop. What things to do regularly, frequently, that's loop. The list comprehension. This list comprehension allows. So what are the basic specific attributes of Python, which is not available other programming language? I can say that they are called list, dictionaries, tuples. These are the 3 specific features of Python. What list is? Well, list is arranging the elements in a particular order, applying operations on it. It allows you to work on numerical values in the form of arrays. It is required everywhere. Tuple. What is tuple? Tuple is going to be manipulate this particular thing. The tuples are also the type of list, but tuples will have the more manipulation power and storage capability. And you take dictionary. Dictionary means, dictionary will have 2 fields. One is called key field, other is called value field. If key 1, this is Lenovo. Key 2, it is called Apple. Key 3, then that is called HP. That is the dictionary available with the Python to have the indexing more faster. There. The key value file, it's similar to map in Java or other object. You can use the key like this. So you have a lot of elements in your system, in your program. I'm talking about every domain of engineering. Everybody needs this particular facility, key and value pair. It allows you to arrange your data in a precise manner and make it easy to process, to identify whenever this introspection is required. So you can use also the dictionaries with the help of the loops. This person, cat, spider, these are the three objects, and my attribute is legs. So number of legs for the person, legs for the cat, legs for the spider. I can put it in the loop. I can say display. So the like this, n number of objects can be displayed on this on the screen. You also have the dictionary comprehension. This dictionary comprehension, it allows you to deal with the values. Though you have key and value, it is able to manipulate on the values of the dictionary that is required when you want to apply the mathematical functions, especially the squares, square roots, and other options available in your computational system. Also supports though you are very familiar, it is a traditional approach of representation of the data, but the set is unordered collection of distinct elements that can be used, that can be available. Another collection of distinct elements where you can use numbers, you can use with strings, you can use with other objects also. The set comprehension is also one of the features from Python. This set comprehension allows you to work on sets instead of single element. And the important feature of this is a tuple is an immutable. The tuple is many ways similar to list, but list is mutable. Mutable can be changed. So whenever your data is constantly changing, you go for list. Whenever data is constant, then we go for tuple. And the tuple is going to be reduced the execution time because already your model is prepared for the immutable data. So execution will be faster. But all the context, I can't have the standard data. I will be having dynamic data. That's why I go for list. And there is a provision in the Python also to combine list and tuples. Hybrid facility is also available. That's one of the important feature of that. How the tuple will be accessible. Using a simple indexing, I can able to use. When you have the tuple like this representing, and I want to print this one, all the elements will come. Instead, I can also use for one tuple can be selected. This is indexing number. When I give 0, apple will come. When I give banana, this will come. Right? 0 for apple, 1 for banana, 2 for other thing, it will come. Also, negative indexing is also there. In tuple, this is called indexing starts with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the important feature of Python. Indexing starts with 0 because in a computational system, the CPU and the operating system memory organization system, it is starting with the index of 0. That's why Python also used there. 0 indexing, 1 indexing, 2 indexing. The navigation also done from the reverse side. In the reverse side, it is called -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. 0, 1, 2, 3 from left to right, -1 to n, -n from right to left. That facility is also available. When we go for this is called when you don't know how many number of elements are there in the tuple, when you want to see that from the end of point, then we go for negative indexing. And one of the important feature of any programming language is called function. The function is that is going to be improve the efficiency of the programming skills by using the functions for a number of times. If I need to use the function for 5 times, I no need to write the same function for 5 times. I will call the implement for once. Definition, declaration. These are the important attributes of any programming language. So defined for once, and you use it for many times. You call the function for many times, that will be done. That's the function. The function is modularization. The importance of function is reusability and modularization. Modularization reduces the size of the coding. And the important libraries available in Python is there are many libraries, especially you maybe listen to words frequently. The important of that, this is like a heart of the Heart of the Python libraries is called NumPy. NumPy is nothing but the Python library that works on numbers is called NumPy. And numbers, a number starts from single array, 2D, 3D, or what great extent. Why MATLAB is popular? MATLAB is popular because it is working on the matrices. In MATLAB, you get, irrespective of the input you are giving, it will be treated as a matrix. 1D, 2D, 3D, whatever it is, the size, the data you are giving, including text, including audio, including video, GIF, anything, irrespective of the type of data you are giving, everything is stated as a matrix. That's why it is called mathematics. Mathematics, and it is stored in the form of matrix. Same thing, the Python working on the numerical numbers, it is a Python library on the numbers, the simple numbers. But it is size is less in the way of storing and using it. When your data is huge, then it is not at all supported. Then we go for the pandas. The pandas is going to be handle the huge amount of the data. And the scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is the package is for autonomous learning. For example, this particular machine learning is used in your mechanical engineering domain. For example, you want to see the performance of the device, performance of the engine, performance of the machine, a particular machine. You no need to appoint the person for 360 by 24/7. It's not required. What you will do, you will simply write the program, put into the device will be embedded into your machine. So the machine performance is observed by your program, and in your program there are some alerts. Those alerts are when the sound cross this particular stipulated period, a stipulated frequency, then it is automatically going to be alert you. Can monitor the performance of the machine, can monitor the soundness of the machine, can monitor the outcome of the machine. Where autonomous learning, there you can use it. You can use in smart grids also. Smart grids. You can use in smart city applications. Autonomous learning. Scikit-learn is the library where supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, also called reinforcement, algorithms are implemented. All those type of learnings are required by every domain, every stakeholder. It's not confined to few domains. And TensorFlow, when you want, normally in machine learning, in machine learning, especially in neural networks is the example for supervised learning. In supervised learning, in neural network, I can't see internally what's happening, how my input is processed and how this outcome is generated. I can't see. If you want to see that, we should go for TensorFlow. That's visualization of 3D of concepts, and it is called deep learning. Those deep learnings are implemented on GPUs rather than CPUs. And Matplotlib library is the library that's going to be visualize everything required. What is the initial data? How this data is correlated? Because of correlation, we are able to identify the what to be done. I hope you know the sequence of developing any model. First, collection of data, understood the relationship in the data, then objective to be identified, and based on relationship of your data, how you are going to be implement your objective. That is the sequence of, and the objective is generated. Now you have to test your objective is the specified one or not. If not, you need to change from the inception. That is the process involved in building the model. It is just like in our life, regular life, we have some goals. To reach the goal, we have sequence of steps to be done. Finally, we will test the goal what we generated with what I expected. If yes, 100% correct, I'm so happy. If not, I can go for modification. That is the sequence of steps involved. What it needs is, it needs mainly what is the correlation, what is the relationship among the data that will be identified through Matplotlib library. The simple functions I can go in NumPy. What I could do with the NumPy? I could do with the n-dimensional array. Here d equal to 1, d equal to 2, d equal to 3, up to d equal to n. Create an array. 1D, 2D, 3D. What I can, data types can be handled, different data types. In your data also, in your numerical mechanical domain also, you will be having different data. All those data are represented and comprehended and utilized within the single concept. You are able to handle different types of data. Functions on arrays. Functions on arrays will speed up the computation. Speed up the computation. Array indexing. This indexing allows you to identify the particular feature implementation from the complex environment. Mathematical functions on arrays can be done. So many. Array is the fuel for NumPy. Array is the fuel. Array is the platform on which NumPy is developed. NumPy have so many options, like how to create the zeros in my array, how to create the ones in array, how to fill the created array with the specified number. It can be done. As long as, for example, student performance is generating from semester to semester, and those performance values are stored into the, what is the array I have specified initially when they are admitted, and this is the results still stored at one particular location that will be helpful to the selecting the pupil for placement. That will be done automatically. What are the other options, mathematical operations available? There are so many functions from this particular library, and those functions are to be used very frequently in my research, academic and as well as professional research. What things can be done? And one of the important feature of this is called SciPy. SciPy, it is called scientific library. Scientific library, you know, scientific library and how it is the part of that. The scientific library use the features of NumPy. Again, what I can do with scientific library? Here I have the prerequisite. I have the reading and writing to images. I'm telling your machine, your engine part, your robo arm, or you want to visualize the graph drawn or some design drawn in 3D using some any design tool, mechanical design tool. You want to see that? Yes, you have to. And once you have to display it with the display that allows you what you have thought in your mind and what you done it. And once you have done it, what operations you can apply on that. Some are to be filtered. Some are to be filtered because which is not important and compared to other requirements you have in your mind and is specified in the program. And those features are, so features nowadays is, that is the most important parameter in especially I can say AI ML DL. Simple, I can say feature is nothing but attribute. For example, student, I can say student name, student year, student branch, performance, mail ID, contact number, all these are all called features. Those features, how I am using these features to decide whether the student is eligible to the placement or not. That is the model. They are called features. Everything will have the features. I told you, when I want to predict the temperature or rainfall or humidity for tomorrow, you have to be deal with 40 to 50 attributes. For 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, they are called features. So for example, there are some domains where you have many number of features. All features are not important and not uniform. Some features to be filtered, and some filtered. Through filter, or identify what is important. They are called feature selection. Feature selection is most important parameter that assess your smartness, because feature selection is proportional to outcome of your program. It is provide high performance multidimensional array, high performance and basic tools to compute with manipulate these arrays. That is the SciPy. All image related operations deal with the SciPy. It provides basic function to work with images, to read images, to represent the image, to write the image, to manipulate the image, and to present it. All these operations are available with SciPy package. Simple. There is a single instruction. If you want to do the same through either C, C++, Java, it takes minimum 10 lines of code, 10 lines of code to read this. But the same facility is available with MATLAB. Single instruction will be available to read your image. But it's the proprietary and interoperability is lesser compared to the Python one. Matplotlib library helps you to display the relationship. It allows you to draw the graphs. I will show you how to be done. And pandas is the one more library. That pandas allows you to deal with the huge amount of the data. So for data is small, you go for NumPy. For data is large, you go for Panda. These are the platforms used to operate the data. Once you are able to store the data, when you are able to filter the data, filter the features, then we will think about model to be built. For that, we go for scikit-learn. Scikit-learn, feature processing is nothing but reducing the dimensionality of the data. If it is huge, if condition I am telling, if it is huge. Sometimes through pre-processing, sometimes you may miss required data. I can say PCA, principal component analysis. Maybe you are well familiar. Eigenvalues, eigenvectors. These are the features of PCA. PCA helps you to reduce the dimensionality reduction. As part of pre-processing, we need to reduce the noise. We need to improve the clarity. We need to filter the features. We need to what I can say, reduce the dimensions. All this comes under feature pre-processing. After that, feature selection will comes. And I can select the model. Model is an idea. Idea is called model. These are all called data, information, knowledge, whatever it is. This is idea. Idea is implemented. Now test the idea, your outcome. Idea is implemented, outcome generated, test the outcome. So outcome is only 85 or 90, but your target is 100. For that you need parameter tuning. So you have goal, but instead of reaching goal, you have reached G prime. There is a difference between G prime. So next time onwards, you have to tune your parameters to G prime should be G. That is called autonomous learning. That's implemented with the library called scikit-learn. Yeah, I was browsed 2-3 URLs for you, especially where Python is associated with the mechanical engineering. In mechanical engineering, it includes, not limited to, I'm telling, numerical analysis. Most popular application of Python to perform numerical analysis. Especially these problems, linear equations, ODE, PDE are involved. Ordinary differential equations, partial differential equations involved. Actually, if you want to do analytically, if you want to do on a paper, on a particular canvas, you need to have the long time. But there is a platform to allow you to reduce the execution. That's none other than the Python. And I have observed some URLs where the Python applications and Python platform allows the mechanical engineer to do the things, to apply the services of Python. And I identified all these areas where the Python concepts, Python libraries are used. Somewhere NumPy used, somewhere Pandas used, somewhere scikit-learn used, and somewhere the other TensorFlow can be used. See, in this domain, the heat transfer domain, in this particular domain, these are the basic where NumPy and Pandas are enough. If you want to visualize your picture, there I can go for the TensorFlow. All the internal, normally you can't see the internal process, what's happening in these particular devices, in these processes. But using Python library, scikit-learn, and using TensorFlow, you can see the internal process because those processes are visualized. We can map, we can correlate all these areas into this particular programming language. I can say strongly. Once I gone through some URLs only for this particular session. What is the difference between when you have one independent variable, it is called ordinary differential equation. When you have more than one independent variable in your equation, it is treated with conventional to PDE. Just like in your machine learning concept, it is called linear regression, multiple linear regression, and simple linear regression. When I have one independent variable, one dependent variable, it is called simple linear regression. Multiple linear regression means when I have multiple independent variable. Independent variable affects. Because of independent variable, the dependent variable is proportional or defined. Independent variable affects the. So I can say dependent variable is affected by, influenced by independent variable. For example, the salary of the employee, that depends on the performance, that depends on the qualification, that depends on the experience. So the experience, qualification, performance, independent variable. Salary is dependent variable. I have gone through some URLs, some things like the ODE is nothing but it is a function in the Python in this particular packaging, stands for ordinary differential equation integrated. Because of that integration, by make use of Python services, we are able to solve ODE and PDE. This is the link that gives the stuff, the basic stuff related to ODE. There are two library functions I observed in this particular platform for mechanical, for anybody who are working on ODE and PDE. They are called Orient and also called Gecko. What is the difference between Orient and Gecko is Orient is a not optimized solution and Gecko is optimized solution. Being mechanical engineering, you have to teach me what is optimization. Optimization is convenient to us. Maybe minimize, maybe maximize. Minimize the cost, maximize the profit. That is optimization. Orient is not concerned with optimization. It is concerned with solving the equation. Gecko is also thinking about how to optimize. Optimization is required when your objective function is specified. When you are limited to the resources, when you are limited to the execution, when you are limited to the outcome generation, then optimization is required. For that, Gecko have a big features where the inbuilt functions are available. Because of that, this is going to be optimize the equation. I will show you these two in a URL, web URL, how the concept is explained. I can go to Colab. I have done Colab used for this differential equations. Google Colab. This is from Google. As they have many platforms and devices and technologies, that is why they are enriched in technologies. Google people. This particular storage is available with Google Drive. When you are working on Google Colab, the content related to your execution is stored in the Google Drive. Yeah. So see this. This is the plot libraries where there is a simple equation that dy by dt is some constant x into y. This one. How it is done? What is the prerequisite for this? Here, the prerequisite for this is, I will try to zoom it. Yeah. There is a simple feature from Python. Whatever you want, you don't need to install your system. Simple import it. When you want to install a system, it occupies the memory. When a large amount of the memory is occupied by a system, your performance will be degraded. But in Python, what you can say is you can use it by using import. Import numpy as np. This is the variable. This is customized one. NP, N, whatever you can use. But popular, I am using it as is popular. From SciPy, scientific library, integrate Orient. Orient is the function that allows you to solve the model. My model here it is dy by something. Matplotlib library, this is the library that allows you to draw the relationship between x and y. If x, how the change in x affects the y. The function that returns dy by dt is a model. You know, this is the y is the input in terms of the different time slots is t, and that depends on some constant dy by dt equal to minus k into x or some k into x or k into y. Okay, so this some constant is given. How this is going to be implemented? This is the model I built. In my model, I have two inputs, y and t, and I have the constant k equal to 0.3 or whatever you can put. So my equation is this constant is multiplied with v. How it is differentiated? How final value is given? For that, what is the value taken for y naught? That y naught is an interval from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that, I have the time points. I want to see the value of this at different intervals. That's why I have selection points. You can go for 5 points, 10 points, 20 points, or you want to have the continuous monitoring, then the number of points will be more. Continuously. They're called samples, samples. in communication electronics literature, it is called samples, signals and sampling. Signal is a huge in size. Sampling means taking some for testing purpose. So solve ODE, this ODient is the function from the Python one that is going to be take the model. Model is already defined in terms of y and t. So there, where it starts with the y naught. It is y naught is the simple one with respect to the time slots. And once you call this function, it goes here, and it is going to be dealing with by taking the value of 0.3, and it is conducting the differential equations with respect to these parameters and returning the value to y, with respect to the time 1, time 2, t1, t2, t3, t4, like t20. I have the regular interval 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, 15, like that. That's going to be. So the y is the space where it is stored. Once you want it is stored, you want to see the result. For that, there is a function, there is a object called PLT. Under that PLT, there is a function called PLOT. Function is a PLOT that takes the two values, t and y. On the x, I am taking time intervals, and y, I am taking how it is changed. This show, it gives the visualization of that. That is called. See here. When I have taken the time of 0 to 20 with the intervals 9, starts with 0 to ends with 20, 9 intervals, how the value of y it is changed. That model is built because of that numpy, because of this extracted numpy, the imported numpy, and scikit-learn the instructions required to implement this particular differential equation between y and t is implemented, and that value is stored in this variable. I'm projecting it. If I want to change the different values for k, instead of a constant, if I k considered as a variable, and I want to test it for 3 options, then model is going to be add one more parameter. That parameter is called fourth argument. That fourth argument will take the value of k. Instead of constant, if you have the need in our context to have a dynamic value for k, and then go for the 4 attributes, model y0, t, and fourth attribute value of k. And it tested at 3 different values of k, 0.1, 0.2, and 0.5. And you are able to see how these 3, when k changes, how the value is affected is shown in terms of 3 different colors. When k equal to 1, it is the path, it is gives solid line. This is the initial. When k equal to 2, it is represented to differentiate, just to differentiate. When k equal to 5, how the values are implied. In this particular k equal to 0.1, see how this at this value it is 2. At the time interval 2, value of y is represented at 2. But when and the value is in between 0.2, 0.01, 0 to 0.1. This only this particular, this is drawn when you drawn this. When you have the 5, when time is interval is 5, and the value for this is maybe 0.3 or 0.4. That's all. If you want to be incorporate inbuilt the value for k, that's about ODE. When you have 1, when you are looking for the order 2, when you're looking for the order 2, to search for this particular example, I have searched for specified amount of time, and finally I got with 2, that is called Vanderpool. You know, equation for Vanderpool. The equation for Vanderpool is taken. It is just like ax square plus bx plus c, right? In that particular, I have the variable fx, and how these second order equations are solved with this. Vanderpool equation is taken. Again, that equation is in terms of x and the time interval, how it is changing with respect to the equation dx by dt is equals to this particular thing. This is for second order equation where the input arguments are x and t in terms of parameters, and there also ODient is used. In this ODient, this equation is called for differentiation. And everybody is popular with one more equation called if you want to draw this particular one without having this particular plot, import matplotlib. If you don't have this instruction, I can't see this particular figure. how these are correlated, X and T are correlated, associated, Van der Poel equation. I can't see. If you want to see that visualization, that is available. A comprehensive visualization is available with Python with a single instruction. And related to electrical equation, I tried RLC. You know, resistance, induction, and capacitor, RLC circuit. And for that circuit, how you are going to be calculate the value based on RLC value. And this is also second order equation. The second order equation is used. So you have, what I want to say is, you have the built-in model, built-in function. By defining your model, in that you have to specify what are the inputs in your process. By using a simple instruction, single line instruction, the equations can be solved. Either it is ODE or PDE, it can be solved. And once you solved it, the result will be stored. And you want to be visualized. You want to be see the relationship. With that, you can say this particular thing. And what are the inputs you want to visualize? What are the graphs with respect to x to y or y to z? You have to specify variables here, and the plot will comes like this. The plot will comes like this. So what the thing is, if you want to use ODE, you can use the ODE directly, ODE INT. If you want to use Gecko is treating with optimization. That whenever you have more number of order of multiple input parameters are involved, then we go for Gecko. If you want to use the Gecko, there is a command to have in your, that is called pip install Gecko. That is the prerequisite you need to do. Pip install Gecko. So that is the command allows you to install Gecko into that. After that, your equation will be optimized. But for ODE, you can go for direct utilization because it is already implemented. You know, the basic command in Python is pip install whatever you want to install. Pip install, the primary integrated programming, install what you want to install. This one, it is a Python package for machine learning and optimization. It's specializing in dynamic optimization of the equations. Features are available. What I want to say, services are available. Just you need to identify what you need for your execution, what you need for your implementation. That is to be done. Any doubts on this? Thank you for your patience, and I'm ready to take the queries from you. Either you can type in chat bot, I can access it, or I can take the questions in terms of audio. Don't confine to this a programming language related to that domain, this domain. Now there is sir.
Srinivas Rao,
sir.
The latest version of Python is 3.8.5, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes,
3.7 is the old version.
Old version, it is at January
3.8.5.
Yes, sir.
The new version, latest version that is available. They can download that even latest version also.
Yes, sir. You are the best example. Though you are from mechanical domain, you are correlated to the mezzanine technologies or cutting edge technologies, sir. You are having interest, showing interest to attend these type of activities related to some domains, but still you are eager to learn, to know. That's we are happy to discuss about.
Yeah, that's why I told to all the mechanical engineers they have to migrate to the AI machine learning. Okay.
Yes, sir. In those domains, they have to think about how ML, how AI can be implemented in my particular domain. That integration can be done, sir. That integration, how ML, AI, or IoT, or data science can be used in my domain to improve the performance or to improve the accuracy. That can be done.
Sir.
Sir,
can you please explain us how the Python can be installed, whether it is open source software?
Yes, sir. Just sir, go to Google Anaconda. Go to Google Anaconda Python. Anaconda Python free download.
So you are presenting, sir?
Sir?
On the screen you are presenting?
No, sir. I stopped.
Okay. Sir, kindly share the screen so that all the participants can see.
If you are having any difficulty download, you can use the Colab also, sir. Colab no download facilities are required. Normally Python installation, it takes some time, sir. Minimum half an hour to, that depends on your configuration of the system. Sir. Jupyter is a notebook. It is like editor, like a C editor, Java editor. So there you have to select the individual for data. Individual here, sir, the products will come, and you see the team edition, enterprise edition, professional services. Based on individual edition, normally for personal users, we can go for individual edition. If you want to use in terms of the batch wise, if you are involved in a particular project, then we go for team edition. Enterprise edition is more features with the high-end configuration requirements, sir. Is that? So whenever you have chosen this particular installation, you can go for Anaconda. You have to choose the operating system, sir, for Windows or Linux or Mac or Linux, for what you want to do. And you have better to specify your operating system so that the compatible will come. Though you are having older versions in your system, when you are clicking on the latest version, automatically that will be updated with the new one. And whenever you are whenever you want to update your older version, sometimes you go for upgradation, or you can say that rotating. With that, you are able to increase the configuration strategy. Suppose,
I think Srinivas, I think 32-bit or 64-bit, I think they have to choose.
Yes, sir.
Depends upon their configuration.
Yes, sir. Nowadays, I think till 2011-12, 32-bit OS are there, sir. After that, all systems came with the 64-bit. When you have 64-bit operating system and RAM is minimum 8 GB, then you could work on with different types of packages, different types of libraries. When you have high-end configuration, the more libraries you can be used. And the data, the amount of the data you can be stored and you can be used will be allow you to work on that particular size, huge amount of data. The only difference is the differentiating is the number of bits of operating system, RAM size. RAM is the most important. Though your hard disk is 1 TB, until you are not having the proportional RAM like 8 GB, 16 GB, you can't see the real performance of the libraries, Python libraries.
Hello, sir. Excuse me. May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, once after installing Anaconda, if I want to work, let it be on composites in mechanical stream, I need to click on pip install composites. Is it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Anaconda gives you the basic libraries, ma'am.
Okay.
Right? Whenever you have special integrated IDs, integrated like Jacka, composites, or you can write your code directly. When you are not getting it, means you are receiving some error, it says that it is available. The pip install that particular what is the facility you will require.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, as a mechanical engineer, how could you learn very easily, sir? Sir, Python itself is very, very, very easier to learn, sir. It is simulating a regular language like English communication language, and not having the complex instructions, sir. You have a lot of platforms nowadays, especially have online platforms. Simple go for Python basic documentation that gives you features of Python. After that, you have to search in the Google stating Python simple programs. Go to that particular document, copy what is the code available. Just first run it. Instead of understanding what is happening, first run it. After that, what you have generated is see for what you have generated. Now think about how this outcome came. For this, what is the input? How that input is transformed to this output. That's all. First, break your barriers. Break your barriers. You should be very flexible. You should be wide open to learn any concept. Python is so simple, sir. And I think at least one programming language is associated, familiar with you. So if you have that particular basic requirement, then those keywords are not new to sir. At least what is data type, what is function, and especially suppose you are not getting something, you just copy that particular error what you got and keep it in the Google bar. There is a forum discussions in every programming language. There are professional forums, sir. So they are ready to respond, and that response is very familiar. That helps you to learn. Maybe if whenever you got some error, we will deviate. I'm not getting it. There is no use. Something like that. Instead of that, you just type it and post it into the forum. In that forum, you will found plenty number of options to rectify that particular error. Because error depends on the type of system you are also using. It's simple to read the CSV file directly. Many systems allows you to read the CSV file, but some using simple read command. But some systems will ask you to keep R letter before that read, because those systems are older versions. That is available in forum discussions. In forum discussions, there will be a solution for every problem. We can easily get it. Okay, what is the difference between import and install? Sir, import means you are using implemented one, so which doesn't occupies the memory in your system. Installation occupies the memory from your system. Import is ready made. Install is you want to be have in your system. Everything not to be have in our system. If it allows you to use them directly, why should I install in our system? It occupies the memory. It also burden to either CPU or GPU. What are the available platforms in online? Please share. Online. Normally, sir, as I belongs to IT domain, there are platforms of Python for data science, Python for ML, Python for AI, Python for IoT. These things will be there. So like that, I can say, I search it for a URL for you. This is called Python Programming Libraries for Mechanical Engineer. This is uploaded by a person called Ali Tavelia, July 11, 2009. Why? The reason is his friend, a few days ago, one of my former colleagues said, hey, I am going to learn Python programming. Which libraries are good to know for a ME student? For his friend, he searched and prepared some content and documentation. So what he suggested for mechanical is the NumPy, to use everything in terms of matrices, how you are retrieving through indexing, and the pandas are required to deal with the huge amount of the data, and plot library to visualize what you are doing and to comprehend how you are getting it. And this is the URL identified for you only for this particular discussion only. So the world is open, sir. The world is open. That one system is connected. Everything is available. Just what we need to have is called eagerness, patience, and positiveness. That's all. Everything is available, sir. Based on your requirement, specific requirement, your keywords should be entered in the Google. That's all. There are so many sources giving you the information, sir. Depends on your search query. Your query should be precise to your requirement. Sir, can you give some insights on how to use using OpenCV. So OpenCV, sir, you have to be installed OpenCV. OpenCV is a huge library. It occupies the much amount of the data to installation as well as for utilization also. Because CV, you know, CV means computer vision. Computer vision is nothing but what capability human perception, what capability we are having, the same capability what you want to give to the system through the program. So just imagine everything is in terms of what the capability of human being is looking at object and identifying it, the capability you want to give to the system. So many libraries functions are available in CV which you have to be installed. Install OpenCV that allows you to work out with the images. I want to use real-time image data for robot manipulation. Sir, there are many sources. The popular source is Kaggle.com. In Kaggle.com, you have the data sets for images, data sets for text, data sets for numerical numbers, Kaggle.com. Again, Google search. Kaggle.com, that many, for image on MNIST, the website. A simple, if when you want to see the basic features of image processing with respect to the flowers, 3 types of flowers, what you have, iris is the data set. For other data set where animals, vehicles, everything is there, MNIST. For medical, for if you are working on agriculture field, plant village. When you are working on the health related data, UCI. These are the online platforms where the data sets are available for different applications, sir. Even for robot manipulation also, the image related CV is required, that is available in Kaggle.com, sir. Any queries? I missed it. Platforms. What is the NumPy for state space modeling? Yes, sir. Can I work with NumPy for state space modeling? Yes, sir. You can work with NumPy. Until the amount of the data you are manipulating is limited. Limited in the sense that some 50 by 50, 100 by 100, that's all. If your data size is more than that, you better to go for Pandas, sir. Pandas also inbuilt using the features of NumPy. Can you give some insights on how to use real-time data for? Yeah. Okay. Any more, sir? I hope I covered queries posted on chatbot. Yeah, best example for AI is a chatbot, sir, where everywhere you can see in hospitals, in banks, in financial organizations, in academic organizations, there won't be any person to give the reply. Based on your query, it search for the database and corresponding answer, corresponding content will be retrieved and giving to you. One more example for AI is chatbot. Siri, Apple Siri. Google search, sir. Google search is the AI related application. Google Map, navigation, assistance, Google Assistance. So while you are in driving, you don't want to touch your mobile. You can instruct your mobile to make a call, to send a mail. That is the best AI system. In AI, it is not related to few domains, sir, where all these domains are integrated. Then only AI product will come. If no more queries, I will quit it and you should be ready for next session. No, thank you,
sir,
everyone.
We are very thankful to you, sir.
Yeah.
So, on this occasion, we would like to extend our deepest thanks to you and for gracing this. Though it is out of the way for this program, but because we need this as a part of Python, because MATLAB is actually a costly software. We want to give exposure to the participants in terms of an open source software like Python. So we are very thankful to you, sir, for presenting this. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you to give me the platform to present my views. Though I came from IT, I little bit scary is there how to teach to the mechanical people and how to correlate the usage of that. I scared bit about this finding the correlation. Thank you for giving me confidence and platform to collaborate with the people who are working from mechanical background. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. We have next session by Professor Sridhar Reddy, sir, from JNTUH, and he will be discussing about the introduction to finite element analysis. And then the next session will be around 2 to 3:30 will be about hands-on using Python for FE. Thank you. So there is a swap in the schedule as mentioned or shared to you earlier because of some issues with the speaker. So it will be swapped to tomorrow's morning session with Dr. Vamsi Chalamala from IIT. And we have one more session, a special session from MathWorks on 7th of August, that is tomorrow, from 2 to 3:30 on special lecture of using apps for calculation in mechanical engineering by Dr. Soumik Chatterjee from MathWorks. Next session will be on Introduction to Finite Element Analysis by Professor Sridhar Reddy from JNTUH. And the only change is there is a swap of schedules of Sridhar Reddy sir with Dr. Vamsi from IIT Delhi.
अरुणा इकडे दारूगड आणि मला जाऊ दे समोसा ये
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir. Are you able to listen me, sir?
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay. Right. Uh,
Oh,
Sir, it's not allowing me to share, sir.